just that much better. That you've got San Antonio and OKC. Probably one of those two teams coming out unless something real jackass happens. And I don't really trust the Heat that much right now. So
yeah,
I don't know if I can pick them, but I don't know if I can change my pick if I don't know who the heck they're going to play.
Well, I mean, you still had the Thunder coming out of the West.
Still have the Thunder, yeah.
Well, I'll go against the grain on this. I'm struggling with the Thunder coming out of the West.
Y'all.
Oh yeah, I'm picking the Pacers. You're on to me.
Pacers, Clippers, all the way.
I'm scared about the Thunder coming out of the West because the teams they've played, similar to the Spurs, those teams have flaws, and I've always been really hard on the Lakers. I've always seen their flaws for what they are, and when you got a joke of a coach, you got an aging superstar, and you got two bigs that don't know what their role is going to be from minute to minute, let alone from game to game.
But these last couple of games, it's some of the best basketball the Lakers have played.
Yeah.
All year. So,
but it's accidental. You never know. And you get, like you talk about, that weird stuff like World War coming out of the blue, making 3-pointers in a row with the crowd booing him every time he touches the ball. And you're like, what? You're not going to make that. And then at home, he's shooting air balls the next night. And so it's just, they're just so hard to trust. And the Spurs are a lot more trustworthy. They're a lot more boring. They're a lot more stable. And that open guy is going to make that shot if he gets open.
But would you agree that what the Thunder did in round one is more impressive than what the Spurs did in round one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Certainly.
Okay.
Certainly. It's, like I said, it's going to be the series.
It's the finals.
Yeah, it's going to be
the best two teams right now. Right now, they are.
It's going to be the series of the last half decade to me. It's going to be that good to me because those two teams are excellent for different reasons. They're both well coached. I like Scotty Brooks too. I haven't said that out loud.
I said it a lot last week.
Yeah, I haven't said that out loud, so I'll do that now. I like it.
Yeah.
I like what he does. He knows what his personnel is. He knows how to deal with them, and he's great at that. Now, but it's just for some reason I think that youth. For some reason, that 5-minute period where they can't make a shot, I think is going to cost them more than it has. Because they're going to have that.
Last night's win was beyond impressive to me. And they were down the entire time.
Yeah.
And they really weren't doing anything great. And then it just clicked. And Durant was hitting.
And Westbrook kept him in it. For
he did.
All
he
the
dropped
criticism.
30-something there. Yeah. And he doesn't get enough credit.
I think he had 37.
Yeah, I don't think he gets enough credit. He's not the ball hog he was in last year's playoffs, which I think ended up doing them in. He doesn't pass. I'm not gonna say that. If he has the ball, he's shooting it. But he's worked on that mid-range jumper, and it goes down. A lot more often. It's frustrating at times, but they seem to get through it. And again, that's why I posed the question earlier. That jump shot mentality. One of those three guys is going to be hitting, and if not, the other two rebound so well, and so does Ibaka, and so does Perkins.
I mean, the thing that gives them a chance is that they don't have a player that currently has some sort of mystique for being a flake out artist.
Right.
So you figure those guys are going to show up.
And they got Fisher, like the ring collector, like we.
Yeah.
And he played he got in Kobe's head a little bit this series thus far. So I don't know. It'll be fun to watch. I hope they close it out tomorrow night. But I think enough of sports for now. I never thought I'd ever say that. But we need to do a little entertainment news just because we hopefully have female listeners. We went over the NBC schedule. The new fall schedule last week. CBS and Fox both have since released theirs. I don't think we have to get into this too much. Fox actually didn't change much at all. CBS, they moved 2.5 Men from Monday to Thursday, which we kind of touched on 2.5 Men last week.
Yeah.
On that this might be a season of this is the defining season, really. This might be it if they don't
put up or shut up.
Right, and they're putting them, I think, behind Big Bang. So you start losing that viewership. It makes it more obvious.
That's a classic test of a show. You
Right.
know, can it get good ratings right after their number one?
Exactly.
If it can't, then goodbye.
Right, and then that makes sense to where the viewership of that show is trending. Mm-hmm. And then Two Broke Girls moves into 2.5 Men's slot, and I haven't mentioned her yet tonight, but the wife.
What is the
you
other
can hear
half name?
Cindy. She loves that show, and I tolerate it. I don't hate it as the Sip King.
Executive dog.
Yeah.
Executive dog.
Little upset about something.
Here she comes. They barking at everything and nothing.
Oh my God, an air molecule.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm freaking out.
Yeah. Now, before you go on,
Okay.
do you believe, for real, in the idea of shows following other shows in today's climate and
DVRs
culture,
and
where
everything.
people don't watch stuff when it comes on? You pretty much have your stuff set to record, and then you just watch it a week later or on the weekend. And
I certainly don't think it's as relevant anymore,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I think the networks still follow that.
And
that model,
and honestly, I don't even know how that works. If DVRing it counts as us even viewing it.
And
These days, they go more on if you're watching it online as much as.
If we're talking about Nielsen ratings, my parents used to have one of those boxes. I guess
Wow.
you're not supposed to say that, but they don't anymore, so I guess it's cool. But
Yeah, the 3 people listening won't
this,
rat
this
us
is
out.
this is pre-DVR.
if you come up missing tomorrow,
Yeah.
we'll
Right.
see what's going on.
Yeah.
with that.
But they had like an extra box, to record
Really?
that they were watching this show, and I think every 22 minutes you had to hit a button on the remote, and if you didn't do that, the box would start flashing.
Okay.
It wouldn't explode, but it would threaten
If
not
this
to
box
record, that you were watching that show. So if you hit the button, then it says, "Oh, okay, you're actually here in front of the TV. You're not, walking the dog or something like that." So
with that on that channel.
that's
So, yeah. And
that's why my
that-
parents got rid of the box, because it kept prompting them every 22 minutes to hit the
Right.
button.
And if it is the same technology, then DVRing doesn't count at all unless it doesn't at all, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
I want to believe that there's something more sophisticated out there, but there's enough reason to believe.
I'm sure
maybe it's
there
not.
is, and I don't.
Maybe it's not.
And they do go on. I haven't. It's not in this story, but I think they do take into account big time your online views of the show. But the rest of the changes are dramas, which, as we went over last week, I don't really care about. There's new shows coming on. The Partners is a comedy
About
sounds
lawyers?
it sounds like it might be, or 2 gay fellas. I don't know.
I love laughing at lawyers.
It's okay. It is about lifelong best friends who are now in their 20s with new relationship complications. Certainly something I'll tune into. Vegas is coming. Is being added. I think it's nothing like you think. I don't even think it's casino driven at all. It's
That is where my mind went.
it's Dennis Quaid and Chickless as cowboy cops or something in Vegas. It's we can make fun of it when it actually hits the air, and we have
Yeah,
legitimate. But I love Dennis Quaid, and I'm sure
That could be pretty horrible.
Chickless has a lot of following. But this is Sherlock Holmes.
A series?
Yes, Elementary.
I don't get it. No.
Me neither. The name of it is Elementary. Yeah, I don't see it either. But the funny part about it is Watson, or the Watson-themed character, is played by Lucy Liu. She's Asian. Shouldn't she be the Sherlock Holmes? She's the smarter people.
She's also a woman. What the hell's going on?
Well, that's the second major flaw. But
There's no flaws on this.
Right.
a woman who solves crimes.
Right. What intrigues me most about it is Johnny Lee Miller,
Uh-huh.
who
Angelina Jolie's first husband.
yeah,
Starred with her in Hackers back in the day.
why that's
With Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
And yes, he acted like a crazy person.
Well, that's from the Scream movies. The first one.
Yeah.
No, I do like that Johnny Lee Miller fella who I liked as an actor. Now I love him as a person. He's married to Angelina Jolie.
Well, he was.
Doing something right.
Yeah.
But He's actually from Eli Stone, which is a show I watched on ABC years back. So that's probably enough for me to maybe consider this hour. It's hour drama. I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh, an hour, man.
Yeah,
Branching
You
out.
breaking the rules?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't completely signed off on that, but then they're adding a couple shows mid-season. Friend Me, which just sounds like a Facebook parody, but I think it actually has the McLovin in it.
Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
Yeah, you would know his name.
Yeah.
So, and
I apologize to everyone except Christopher Mintz-Plasse,
that's fair.
who is probably not listening.
And then CBS, as we talked about last week, the NBC doesn't really have the reality as much. Maybe the Donald Trump show, but other than that,
You're fired.
the Job is a reality series they're going to add about landing a dream job. So I think we're living ours right now in this show.
I would say that.
Even if they just paid us in beer, which we're surrounded by. So,
We're self-sufficient in beer right now.
yes, and Undercover Boss will return, whatever. And Still Waiting, which is a show that I do like. It's because it's a sitcom, of course, no surprise. Is Rules of Engagement. Putty.
Oh, they're on the maybe list?
They do this every year to them. They're in waiting every season, and they always get picked up because Friend Me will suck or something. I mean, it's typically what.
Yeah, it sounds like it sucks.
Right. What happens? And right up on the Elementary, which is the new twist on the Sherlock Holmes story, arrives just as TV's last Holmes inspired hit, Fox's House. Did you know that was Sherlock Holmes inspired?
It was?
House? Yeah.
House was?
But we're thinking, is there a different Sherlock Holmes? And
It's just one that I know. It's
Right,
been redone
so-
a lot. Yeah.
so in that case, maybe I won't watch it. But in this one,
Never
John-
with Lucy Liu or
Right.
an Asian
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah, no, she's still probably viewable. And that we mentioned that Johnny Lee Miller as Holmes and Lucy Liu as the Watson, so it's a different dynamic. We'll see. I don't know. Rob was a sitcom that got asked
Watson.
that I actually really liked. From CBS, it was with Rob Schneider. Anytime you make fun of Mexicans, I'm down. But I'm kidding, Daniel.
Disclaimer.
But,
never mind.
Yes. But so on that note, we'll move on to
Our apologies to the population of San Antonio.
we'll move on to the network that doesn't really care about much at all, varying, I guess, the population or whatever. I'm gonna paint myself into a corner I can't get out of. Fox.
Yes.
Yes, Fox is. Like I said earlier, they pretty much kept the same schedule going. They moved Glee to Thursday, which hopefully no one really cares. No, I loved the first half of the first season.
That's because you love Jane Lynch.
Probably, I do.
There we go.
Yeah.
Lesbians.
She is awesome.
Yeah, she's great. She was great in 2.5 Men.
Ah.
One of the many people that have left the show why the show will leave the air. But no changes really. They do have 3 new shows coming in: The Mob Doctor, whatever, Ben and Kate, and The Mindy Project. The Mindy Project's intriguing because it's I don't know if she produces or is in the office, but she writes and stars in the show.
Her name is Mindy?
As Mindy.
Yeah, I'm not familiar enough with The Office to...
Despite having a successful career, she needs to break bad habits in her personal life, blah, blah, blah. She's a OBGYN,
good start.
right? She has a practice with other doctors, none of which make her life easy, so I guess it's a bunch of... It seems like it's another office kind of layout.
Office-inspired.
Right.
If not a spinoff.
Yeah, right. No, and we mentioned that last week. They're working on those type things. And the Ben and Kate show is, I think it is about a brother and sister